the coalition process. While answering questions from South Day MP and Majority Chief Whip Roxanne Nelson Dafiamakwo, Deputy Commissioner in charge of administration Dr. Bosman Nasari disclosed to Parliament that while the NDC demands a rerun of the election in over 30 polling stations, the NPP wants process to continue with the 3 outstanding stations. Dr. Bosman Nasari also disclosed all attempts to get the police to provide security for the completion of the coalition process to complete has hit a snag with the service, indicating it's waiting for advice from the Attorney General on the way forward. Take a listen.
I'll try and respond to
okay, answer the question.
Mr. Chairman, I think one of the things we need to state is that from the Commission standpoint, the country has made a lot of progress when it comes to electoral democracy. And the EC is mandated to do whatever
it is. With all due respect, he should answer the question that he can explain his answers. Yes, I agree, then you explain. No, I disagree.
Honorable member.
Start with a story.
Honorable member.
Please.
Honorable Dafiamapo. In asking the question, you went round before asking the question. If he is also responding the question in such a way that you and everybody here can understand, please allow him to answer the question.
Mr. Chairman, I take strong exception to the phrase that I went round. I quoted the law.
Well,
I quoted the law. No. I quoted the law to lay a foundation to suggest strongly that the story that they had to borrow scanned carbon copies from the NPP was contrary to the provision in Regulation 43 of CI 127. That is what I put to him.
So, leader, if asked the question, just allow the Deputy Commissioner to answer.
Mr. Chairman, in my response, I indicated that when one of the parties brought the scanned copies, it was endorsed by the agents of the other parties. Let me also say that the Commission disagrees with the question because the Commission is mandated to ensure the integrity of the process. And as an institution, we are very careful. We don't do anything to set a bad precedent, which will go a long way to undermine the country's democracy. So in Domikwa Benya, when we had to go beyond our reach, to even reach out to agents of political parties to bring tally cards, we did that. So what we are basically saying is that we need the support of the House so that we can complete the process, because we think that it is unfair that the people of Ablekuma North don't have a representation in this August House. In as much as I agree
yes with... Yes or no, then you can explain.
No, it's not yes or no. In as much
Let's shift our attention to the camp of the NPP as campaigns for who leads the party into the 2028 elections have heated up as some 66 minority MPs declare support for former Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, according to the MPs, Dr. Bawumia remains the best candidate to lead the party to victory. The NPP, at a crunch emergency NEC and National Council meeting, set January 31, 2026 to elect its flag bearer, a decision which has been heavily criticized by some leading members of the party. Now, speaking to Star News on the back of this, Professor Aidoo said the early contest is a plot to whitewash a failed candidate.
Albeit you see that skewed allow an individual to hold the power and be able to determine the fate of all others. See that system which works in China and elsewhere, where the element of democratic centralism is at play instead of proper liberal democratic arrangement within the MPP, which is known historically to be the case. The mass within the electoral college, which I believe should be expanded, would be those who decide the fate of the executives who decide of the flag bearer of the party. And that is when it becomes a bottom-up approach, then it would mean that you have allowed for catharsis, you've allowed for dissent, you've allowed for free, fair, if you like, internal democratic arrangement as against party capture, which comes about largely through internal vote buying and also through manipulations and other related machinations. This is not organic. This is artificial, just like they aimed at doing the thank you talk. This smells party capture and it smells deceit among their ranks. And I think that the MPP must know that several Ghanaians are following.
However, some MPs visited the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to declare their support for him. Addressing the media after a closed-door meeting, Dr. Bawumia thanked the MPs for their support.
This morning I've had a visit from our members of Parliament. I think that it was a very happy visit. It was a courtesy call, and it's a call to declare support for me. And I am so happy in terms of the group that have declared support for me from Parliament. Now amounts to just over 60 members of Parliament. And you know we have 88 members of Parliament. And so that tells you that a very significant number of members of Parliament have declared their support for me. I just want to use this opportunity to thank all of them. The leader of the group here is Amprachum, who coordinated this, the MP for Mampong. And I believe that this is going to be very, very important because the members of Parliament, as you know, control the constituencies to a large extent. And I'm very, very happy for exactly what they have done today. It's a strong show of support, and I thank them and I thank God for this strong show of support. And off we go. There's a lot of hard work to be done so that we can help the party and help the country. And I want to thank all.
Well, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is in the news again, as this time around, the OSP says 4 public officials have been formally charged with corruption in connection with an attempt to unlawfully acquire 10 containers of imported rice at the Tema port. The accused is Aidoo of the National Insurance Commission, James Kek Osei, a former director at the former Vice President's Secretariat, and customs officers John Aban and Peter Ashbald Hyde allegedly conspired to seize the containers using forged documents and a falsified letter purporting to originate from the office of the Vice President. According to court filings, the rice was legally imported from Thailand in 2022 and all required duties had been duly paid. However, Aidoo, with support from the other accused, attempted to secure the release of the containers through the Ghana Revenue Authority's auction process under false pretenses. In a social media post on Thursday by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the accused persons manipulated official processes with the aim of diverting the containers for their personal gain. The 4 are expected to appear before court on Friday, 27 June 2025, where they will answer to multiple counts of conspiracy to commit a crime, corruption, and abuse of public office. For Outer Space Affairs is spearheading efforts for the enactment of a comprehensive national space law. At the opening of a stakeholder engagement of the Space Law Technical Advisory Mission to Ghana, Director of Science at the Ministry, Kobina Kwesin, emphasized that the development of a space law will provide the legal mandate to regulate space-related activities in the country.
With global attention increasingly focused on space as the next frontier for science, commerce, and communication, Ghana's space initiative could unlock countless opportunities from weather forecasting and agriculture to national security and disaster response. Speaking at a stakeholder engagement session during the opening of the Space Law Technical Advisory Mission to Ghana, Kobina Kwesin, the Director of Science at the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, emphasized that the development of a space law will provide the legal mandate to regulate space-related activities in the country. Director of the Ghana Space Science and Technology Institute, Joseph Breman Tando, also highlighted the importance of aligning with international regulations and incorporating global best practices to help Ghana advance in the space sector.
Why we are here is you need legislation, you need backing, you need to be backed by law. So we have the first draft with the Attorney General's Department, but we are doing this, some mission to bring international perspectives. Space is not localized, space is international. So we are bringing them here to give us an overview of how we can meet international regulations. And because they have been doing those missions for most of the African countries, they can bring their expertise in terms of best practices on board so that they can help us. So now we have a first draft of the space law, and I think from there we can proceed to getting it passed. Yeah.
Other stakeholders, including the representative from the United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs, expressed the UN's readiness to support Ghana in its efforts to build a robust legal and technical framework for space activities.
Congratulations to Ghana and its people has a fantastic space policy in place. The next step now really is to look into a space law. And how does this help? It helps really create an environment that will attract investment, that will give a clear legal environment for your industry to develop so that you can benefit even more from space, but do so safely and sustainably.
From improving telecommunications and remote learning to enhancing disaster preparedness and supporting sustainable development, space technology is shaping a smarter, more connected future, hence the need for a legislation to guide spatial activities.
That's it for GH Today News with me, Evelyn, Araba, Aidoo. Log on to starfm.com.gh for more news updates. Coming up next is GH Today with Lily Mohammed. Have a great day.